everybody, we are here. Access point number 2, 23 days. I don't know what I'm going to expect. I don't know when I'm going to turn the camera back on. I haven't been to the park for 40 years, so I got a lot to absorb. But anyways, let's get into it. That's day 1. So we got out pretty late. I was supposed to have an 8-hour day. It's 7:30 now. I didn't make it into the lake where my camp was. So I'm on a portage. I forget the name of it. It's a 400 meter. So I can't have a fire. I just pushed myself pretty hard today to try to make it, and I just ran out of gas. So I'm gonna make myself dinner. And then climb into bed pretty early. So this is just ground vegetables, so I'm just gonna make myself a little soup. Go with that steak. Absolutely exhausted. So just threw this tarp up real quick. With the hammock, I did not tweak it the way it should be. It's a wrap. I didn't film anything today. Hell of a day though. Anyways, I gotta get this stuff done, get the food barrel down at the other end of the portage. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Good morning, day 2. It is very cold. Good morning, moon. My meds, something I forgot about, that they're very dehydrating. And all last night, my body, I thought I was drinking enough water yesterday. My body cramping all night. My legs, my arms. So today's going to be a bit of a tough one. Oh. It's almost 6 right now. I woke up this morning and I felt like an instant coffee. That's what I'm in the mood for today. So I'm going onto the lake, this portage, the lake that I'm going into next, which is a small one, is Flared Heart. It's not a very big lake at all. And then after the lake, I got a 1900 meter portage. That I'm gonna have to do until that food barrel gets a lot lighter. I'm going to have to do these portages.
4 times. I tried to do it twice yesterday, to do one of the portages twice yesterday. I did it. Hurt. You know, after my shoulder being blown out, you know, I was doing the physio that they'd asked me to do, and my shoulder felt great. What I didn't realize is I spent so much time over the winter focusing on my shoulder that I let the rest of me go. Cardio is not great at all. And a lot of my strength isn't there. Anyways, this trip will sure break you in. So I went down to the food barrel. Anyways, last night, sorry, let me start that over. Last night I finished eating. So I bring the pot and stuff down. And I go to wash it, and I can't find the soap. I got an all-natural soap that we used all last year. And I thought I packed it. I didn't, so I had to rinse everything out. So I guess the one good thing is for the next few days, most of my food's going to taste like steak. Yeah, it is. Instant steak coffee. Oh, that's warm. I'm going to enjoy this coffee. I'm going to have a couple granola bars, and then I'm going to get going. I don't know if I'm going to film anything until I get to the campsite. Yeah, I'm still kind of taking this all in. But hey, we got 23 days to film. 22. Anyways, maybe I'll do some fishing today too. Day 3 has not been fun. My camp's on the other side of this lake. I'm actually going to make a campsite tonight. Things have not been going well. Sabrina was right. This has been tough. Anyways, well, I'm here. I've checked out both campsites. This is the lesser of two evils. Not even really a place for me to hang my hammock out of this wind. Well, there is, but there's a bunch of deadfall. I know we were supposed to get a storm tomorrow. Well, 10 millimeters, 15 to 20 millimeters tomorrow. But with the way this wind's turned up today, I'm guessing we're getting some kind of a storm. I guess I'm going to have to figure something out. Oh well. It's day 4.
I am at Divine Ranger Lake. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Absolutely beautiful spot. We just got poured on. I got the hammock up. I barely got this thing up in time. I'm soaked. But the wind has been absolutely brutal. So this is supposed to last a day or two, I guess. A lot of soul searching on this trip. A lot of soul searching. That's why I haven't been filming much. And it really hasn't helped with my kidney disease and liver disease back. And I've got pitting edema. That's why I put on that extra 38 pounds. For those of you who have been following me on Instagram and know, day 2 was not good. My body seized up about 700 meters into the 1375 portage. Popped my knee. And when I went down, my body just seized. I figured out since then that some of the medication that I'm on, one of them is a water pill. I was extremely dehydrated. And when I say my body seized, I went down, I couldn't get up, I couldn't move. I think I needed this. Oh, so let's talk about how wonderful that was when that happened. So it's on about a 65-degree embankment, all mud. Slipped down, popped my knee, body seized. Thought that was the end of it, so I went for the Zoleo. And somewhere, I can't find it. Had it with me. So I'm guessing the carabiner that it was on broke, kind of like this one. Just a little one. But I had it on the food barrel, and it must have got ripped off. I didn't notice it. I looked. It took me about 2 hours to get up and get moving again. When I did, I went up and down that embankment. So now I'm 4 days in. I had to call an audible, change my route. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know how long this rain's going to last. I'm hoping it was just for today. But yeah, I'm in the thick of it now, man. In the middle of the park, lost my Zoleo. Oh, you know how cold my nights have been? Forgot my sleeping pad and my foam underlay. I've got a -10 sleeping bag, but in the hammock with that breeze, that cross breeze underneath, yeah. I don't know how this is already blown down twice with the wind. The windstorm yesterday was absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I got instant scalloped potatoes with 3 handfuls of rice and 2 cups of soups, all in one pot. I'm just hydrating right now before I fire it up. I haven't been able to have a fire yet. The last 2 nights, well, the first 2 nights, I wasn't on designated campsite. I couldn't make it to one. Finally got the one yesterday. Sittingman is not a great place to camp out. And both campsites, there's only 2 on there, and both campsites, the wind just rips right through there. So there was no point in having a fire. Don't think I'm going to have one tonight, unless this rain lets up. It'd be nice though, and a little bit damp. So yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll get some filming done, get some fishing done. I haven't done any fishing at all. When I came in from Tim, I came in at the Tim access point. Coming through the creek, I saw some really nice brookies, but I had a headwind and I had to keep going because I knew I was going to be pressed for time. So Anyway, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's dark. I'm really in the thick of it now, man. Without that Zoleo, I could be in a lot of trouble. Anyways, hopefully the weather gets better. I'm feeling a little bit better and we can make some interesting video for you guys. Good morning. Day 5. It's about 5:15, maybe 5:30. I was up at 4:30, had to get a fire going. I was up most of the night. With that rain yesterday, everything got a little damp. And I don't know if you can still see, it's snowing right now. It snowed a lot of the night. And now here's my predicament. The last I checked, I can't check now because I don't have my Zoleo, so I don't know what's going on with the weather. But we're supposed to get 2 days of around 11 degrees. So today's Wednesday. So today and tomorrow supposed to be around 11 degrees. And then Friday, Saturday, it was supposed to rain and snow. Now, at the end of this lake, I've got a 2-kilometer portage. And then there's another lake called Stag Lake that's about a half a kilometer long. And then there's a 2,800 meter portage. I don't know if there's anything on Stag Lake where I can set up camp before the storm. And here's why. It's because I have to do each portage 4 times, which means that 2,000 meter portage, which is 2 kilometers, now turns into 14. And with the shape that my body's in, that's going to take the better part of a day. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hunker down. I'm not going to be able to sleep in the hammock again. I'm going to have to make something up on the floor. Like I said, I forgot my air mattress and my foam underlay. So I'm going to have to take both tarps, the one from the hammock, and I'm going to have to make some kind of a shelter. And I'm going to have to ride out this storm. Next week's supposed to be good until Thursday. You know, when I planned this, the problem was I'm used to river running, so the portages were never that bad. The elevations up here, this is the highlands, and I didn't even take that into consideration. And my body not being in the best shape because of the kidney disease, I'm not faring well with this. I don't know if you can see the snow built up there on the side of the tarp. So yeah, I got some decisions to make, but whatever I do, hopefully there's enough sun I can charge. All the batteries are dying, dead because of the cold. So I will, I got a decision to make. But whatever it is, I will try to get some filming done like I promised today. I guess I'm not doing any fishing today. It's basically going to be firewood and build a shelter that'll get me through 2 days of a lot of rain, and it looks like some snow. Yay. Anyways, folks, if you can, get outside, prepare better, be better. Yeah, this is not fun. But I'll get through this. I'll get home. I'm definitely in the thick of it now. Anyways, good morning. Beautiful day, other than the cold. We'll see you guys in a little bit. There's a little bit of sun breaking out. There's a lot of dark clouds rolling in. It's still been snowing. My water filter is frozen. So I guess I'm going to hunker down for a couple of days. I took the hammock down, made a plow tarp for now. My sleeping bag's good to -10. I'll just sleep in my rain gear again underneath over top all my clothes.
Yeah, this was not in the weather forecast when I was leaving. I checked the day before. I took some screenshots. It was supposed to be a little bit of rain yesterday, and that was it. Yeah, those 2 kilometers, and the 2 kilometer and the 2,800 kilometer. Like I said, that first one turns into 14 kilometers, and that's in my shape right now with my kidneys and stuff, and the meds that I'm on. That's 14 kilometers. That's a whole day, just portaging. Yeah, makes me want to buy a Swift canoe, though, I'll tell you that. And like I said, I don't know what's on the other lake. There's no marked campsite, so I don't know if I would be able to even set up a hammock somewhere. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to have a fire because there's no fire pit, and everything here is like bone dry. Even though it's been raining, it's like it's the boreal forest. It's pine. This stuff goes up so quick. So yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna make a coffee, and I don't know if you see all the snow that's fallen. Hope you guys are enjoying your end of spring, almost May 2-4, I guess. Get outside. So let me tell you how that didn't go. I'm just going to delete that footage. So I couldn't lift the canoe. I had to roll it and then walk underneath it to get it on my shoulders. So my shoulder's still pretty sore. About 30 meters, 40 meters in, I guess. Hit a divot. My knee slipped. Dropped the canoe. Anyways, back at the Vine Ranger Lake. I tried to walk it off, so I walked over to the other lake, take a look, empty-handed. Portage seems pretty, well, the easiest one that I've had to do so far, I'll tell you that. Hopefully the storm rolls in tomorrow, rolls out pretty fast on Saturday, and by Sunday I'm feeling a lot better. Just got real, eh? You know, the worst part about it is, too, is by the time I can report that Zoleo missing, the battery's going to be dead. And I don't know if they'll be able to find it. Not that it's going to do me any good right now. Anyways, I guess I'll switch the battery out in the GoPro and putter out onto this lake. Do some fishing and think about what's happening. It is beautiful country, though. I'm in pretty deep now. Fun times. Get outside.
vegetarian chili with some pasta that was done in tomato sauce with green beans, and a cup of soup. So I've been telling you everything that I've been going through. Let me tell you what I'm thankful for. Thankful that we've got a place like this. Thankful for the opportunity to come out here and try this. Like this extreme. You know, I could have done a nice little loop, 3-4 day. Thankful for everything that I have, and I'm thankful for everything that I don't have. Oh God, that's good. I've been eating dehydrated carbs for days. I had a steak on day one that my brother bought me. I'd really like to get into some fish and get some protein. I could use that. And do a fish fry and boil up the head and the leftovers. A nice soup going. Still don't know which way I'm going to go to get out of here. Other than those two at 2,000 meter, half a kilometer lake, and 2,800 meter portage. Those are going to take me a few days. I don't want to push myself without the Zoleo. I can't take any kind of risks. I got to be really careful. But I will definitely, when I hit that portage, I will do some filming so you guys can see what I'm going through. The medication that I'm on for my kidneys is just not doing well for my body. It's hard on my legs. My shoulder's sore again. But I'm here. This place is beautiful. Anyways, I'm gonna have my dinner. I'm on the portage into Divine Lake. Just ran into two gentlemen who stayed last night at the campsite that I'm headed to right now. Said it's a nice site, good place for a hammock. I asked them if they knew what was coming in for weather, because I lost my Zoleo last I heard there's supposed to be some rain. And apparently they're supposed to have severe thunderstorms this afternoon and all through tomorrow. We talked for a little while, told them about my knee and my shoulder, and they said there's no way I'd make that 2,000 meter portage. They said it's absolute hell, one of the worst ones they've ever done. They suggested I turn around. So we'll see. Right now I just gotta go get camp set up before it starts raining. Then I knew there was going to be some elevation in it, but they said it's just very unpleasant, absolute hell. So yeah, looks like I'm going to wait this storm out a couple of days and unfortunately turn around. And I don't know, I'll look at the map, see where else I can go from here. I don't think there's a lot of choices. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I'm on the lake. Whew. Back for the canoe. Jesus. It is 9 o'clock exactly. These thunderstorms are supposed to come this afternoon. I can feel it already getting sticky and really humid. If you're going to film going across the lake and all that stuff, but considering the circumstances, I want to get over and get camp set up. And then I'll start filming, talk to you guys, let you know how it goes. And we'll see. I guess no fishing today either. I think I made the wrong choice. This wind, it's taking me almost 2 hours just to set up that other tarp, and it's garbage. This has been impossible. I was already hunkered down over there. I should have stayed. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to sleep in this thing tonight. Might just have to sleep straight on the ground. Just need 15 minutes for this wind to stop. That's all. Okay, let me show you this monstrosity real quick. It took me absolutely forever to get this set up. I don't know how many times the wind is blowing this thing over. It is so bad here compared to the other place. So, anyways, it is what it is for now. I'm gonna finish setting up. I still haven't eaten anything yet. I'm starving. But I gotta try to get this stuff hunkered down. It's, I don't know, 11:30. Jesus. You know that moment when you realize things have gone from pretty bad, pretty effing worse? Well, I guess my mind's made up. The wind just ripped this tarp. Right, I had a log and a rock on it, and the wind just blew it right off. I was okay over there. I had it all set up perfect. That would have been great. But I thought I had to keep moving forward. This is shambles. This wind has just been relentless. So I'm taking it down. I've laid it down underneath my sleeping bag. I just hope that tarp holds up for tonight. I don't know if I've got the tarp dialed in for the hammock or not. So I don't know if I'm going to get soaked there. I should have stayed right where I was. Now my other problem is if I wind up getting soaked and the temperatures keep staying this cold, I'm in deep shit. I don't know how much longer I got before the storm kicks in, but the wind's getting even worse than it was. What a shame. The first hammock camping experience, and I'm going through this. I will say it is comfy though. So yeah, I'll get this packed up and I'll show you what I'm doing there. I really don't have a choice now. I really should have stayed where I was. Well, I wanted adventure. I'm gonna make the most of it though. So yeah, let me show you real quick. Oh, do you want to see something really cool? Hold on. Look what I found. Big old bone from a moose. Pretty cool, eh? Anyways, that's a highlight I had to show you. All I did was take the tarp from the hammock, put it underneath my sleeping bag. Then I've got my backpack that's empty and my pillow and my life jacket at the end there. It's not that comfortable, but it's gonna have to do. I'm not done setting stuff up yet. I gotta get everything set up for this thing next. The things we do for fun. I'll talk to you guys later on. You know, there was a minute there this morning when I thought I should just stay. I would have been safe, I would have been dry. But there was something inside of me that said, like, I gotta push, I gotta make progress. Sometimes making progress isn't always moving forward. If that makes sense to you. It does to me right now. Yeah, those guys are pretty cool this morning, talking to them. They've got a long paddle ahead of them before they get to their campsite. And a couple of nasty portages. I hope they get there and get things set up before the storm kicks in. I really do. They're nice guys. Anyways, we're going to finish up. Maybe set something up in here too. It's too windy. I can't even take the tarp down to set something up like a little teepee or something. I should have done that in the first place. But this wind, I'm right up on the top of a hill and the wind's just blowing right in through here. Yeah. Fun times. But I'm still enjoying myself. I really am. I really am. This place is absolutely beautiful. I said it yesterday. I'm thankful. I'll let you know how thankful I am tonight. Anyways. Oh, good morning. It's 5:30. It rained all night. It rained all night. I'm dry, which is a good thing. The tarp held up. There hasn't been much wind. Woke up a couple of times. No thunder. I am very sore. I slept good, but I am very sore. There's a couple of roots under me. Just dug into my hip and stuff, but anyways, there's nothing going on. I'm gonna make a coffee. I'll probably go back to bed. I don't even know if you can see anything right now. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later on. Day 8. Good morning, happy weekend. Good morning, and happy weekend. Well, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. The rain's finally stopped. Managed to get a fire going. It's amazing how brushing your teeth and standing in front of a campfire can change your whole perspective. So the campfire was nice while it lasted. As you can see, the tarp from my hammock that I was lying on top of, I had to wrap myself in because the amount of rain that's been coming down, for some reason these seams aren't holding up and they are leaking. So I'm getting drips here and there. I just hope that this rain lets up soon. I know tomorrow's going to be clear. Just don't know when this rain's going to stop. It's about 10 o'clock now, I guess. I've spent some more time looking at the map. I'm going to be a day, maybe two behind. I've missed the whole northern loop. So basically I started to go up, couldn't make it, cut across the bottom section. And if I had stayed where I was yesterday, I would have been exactly on time if I had done that whole loop all the way around. That's exactly where I should have been in that time frame. If the weather does hold, I might be able to push through, maybe make that day up, get to the second campsite to where I'm supposed to be, which is Shaw Lake. And then if I can get there, then I can get to White Trout Lake. And then from there, we'll see how my food rations are, how my body's feeling. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but I know my shoulder and my knee are still really sore. To get to McManus, I've been looking, there's a couple of nasty long portages. There's one that's like 3,200 meters. I'd just be stupid to try to attempt that at this point. So I think my goal is to get to the Opeongo office where I can contact my brother. If I had waited a month to do this trip, it would have been doable. It would have been done. It would have been a struggle because some of those portages are like, they're awful. But hey, I wanted to push myself. I wanted to see if I could do it. It was a test, and I needed to do some soul searching, which I've done. Anyways, I'm gonna read a little bit, take a nap. Talk to you guys later on. Well, it's 3:30. The rain's finally stopped. The forest has come alive again. Yeah. Pheasant back there flapping his wings. A couple of songbirds out. The loon across the lake, I don't know what it's doing, but it's stirring up the water and fluttering across the top and diving and coming up. Maybe it's stirring up some game fish. I don't know. Nice to have a fire going again. Get some of this chill out of me. So as long as the rain holds off tonight, I'm gonna get up around 4:30, and I'm gonna make a push for Sittingman. And if I can do that tomorrow, that puts me right on schedule for the bottom part of that loop to get to Big Trout Lake. That'll take me a few days, and then when I get to Big Trout, I can decide whether I'm going to Opeongo or whether I'm going to attempt the rest of the trip. Really like to thank my brother for this. Just haven't got around to whittling it yet. Don't know what I'm going to make. I'll wait till after the trip, I think. I guess around maybe 12:30, it looked like there was a break. So I jumped in the canoe, went to go out and go fishing. The only thing I got was wet, because when I got to the center of the lake, it started raining again, so I came back. Beautiful place. Good morning, day 8, Sunday. Just made it to the first portage. I want to hustle because last night that storm rolled in again woke me up at 2 o'clock. I woke up this morning, everything's soaked. My sleeping bag, everything. The tarp didn't hold up. Anyway, it's about 7:30 right now. Maybe I'll see you guys around lunch. So it's about 9 o'clock. I'm on the second portage. I'm on my second trip. This one's about, oh God, 520 meters, I think. So far I'm feeling pretty good. My knee and my shoulder are a little sore, but I'm feeling pretty good. My legs are feeling better today though, I'll tell you that. Okay, this is where it starts getting really boggy. I'll turn the camera off. See you guys later on. Okay, folks, I've made it to my campsite. I worked my ass off today. I feel good though. I feel good. Anyways, let me show you around. It's actually not a bad little campsite. I'm gonna have to go get some firewood. Tons of places for a tent. I'm not really sure where to put the hammock yet, but it's okay. Tons of moose sign. I've already had to scrape, you can see here. I had to scrape a whole bunch of it out of the way. But anyways, I'm gonna get this set up and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit, and hopefully I can catch some fish today. I really need some protein. I'm really enjoying this though. Got the hammock set up. Got most of the other stuff done. There's not much firewood on this little peak here. I'm gonna have to get in the boat and go get some. There's some dead standing all over the place except for the campsite. Had a good day today. Really enjoyed today. Worked my ass off, but enjoyed today. I also realized when you're out in these situations like this, you really got to be mindful when panic and fear and doubt and all that stuff sets in. I'm not supposed to be here until tomorrow, on Monday. So I've got some grace, which is good. Now, what I need to do is catch some fish, because I've been working so hard that I've been eating way more than I planned for. And it's all just been carbs, and not really good ones either. Not good carbs. So I need some fish. I need some protein. But I am loving this. This place is beautiful. Still doing a little bit of soul searching. Learned some hard lessons. Learned some good lessons. Enjoyed it all. Very thankful for everything. Very thankful for everything. This is not the trip or the video that I was expecting this to be. It's far from it. Far, far from it. A little cloudy today, no sun. That's okay. Usually the fishing's good when it's cloudy. But see, I'm not a trout fisherman, so I don't even know if I'm going to catch anything. I'm a bass and pike and walleye kind of guy. I don't know if what I've got is going to catch me any trout. My Meps probably will in the river. I don't know what I'm going to do on the lake here, other than enjoy myself. Well, folks, that's day 8 wrap. It's 7:30. I'm going to hit the sack. Supposed to get some rain over the next 2 days, because we haven't had enough. Let me show you. I set the big tarp up just in case. I know it's nothing exciting, but it is for me. So I got them both set up. We'll see what happens, whether we get rain or not. Gonna let the fire die down. And that's it. All in all, it was a great day. I had a great day. I wish I wasn't running out of food because I'm starting to enjoy myself now. Now that the worst of it is over, and then my knee's feeling better. Still a little swollen, but it's feeling better. My shoulder's sore, but I'll deal with it. Anyways, that's a wrap. Good night. Good morning. The battery died. I don't know if you got any of that. It was so cold last night. Anyways, it's about 5:15 now. Gonna enjoy the sunset, have my pipe, go fishing, get some more firewood. It was so cold last night. I slept good till about 2 o'clock. But this hammock, without a sleeping pad, with some R value to it, is absolutely freezing. That breeze that comes in underneath. So it's 8:30, that's it. I thought it was later than that. I don't know how much the GoPro got, but I went around the lake 4 or 5 times, used 4 or 5 different lures. I trolled, I cast, nothing. Got some firewood, pulled up to the bog, got out of the boat, the wind picked up, I had to go in up to my knees to get the boat because it was floating away. Anyways, I'm just going to enjoy coffee and write in my journal. Really starting to enjoy this place. Just wish I knew what the fish were biting on. Used everything. Split lures, deep runners, mediums, shallows, mets, 1s, 2s, and 3s. Tried everything short of dynamite. So it's about 1 o'clock. I'm just making some hash browns. So I had a pretty interesting day. Watched two guys come off the portage, paddle over to the other camp, get a fire going, and about an hour later they paddled over, shooting the shit. They asked me if I had any cigarettes. I said no. All I had was some pipe tobacco. I told them what was going on with me, that I was low on food, that I was having a tough time. I'm trying to get to Opeongo now. So they told me to jump in the canoe with them. I jumped in the canoe with them. We went over to their campsite where they were drying everything out because they just dumped their canoe. And for some pipe tobacco, they gave me 2 fish, 3 military rations, some condiments, and some trout lures. Great guys. We hung out for a while, had a blast. They're both from Huntsville. I forget their names right now. One of their Instagrams is 705 Fishing Muskoka. Check them out. They're great guys. We made plans to hook up later on in the future. Maybe go fishing, do something, hang out. Yeah, they've had one hell of a trip too. They did that 2,800 and that 2,000 meter portage. They said I'm lucky I turned around. So yeah. All in all, it's been a pretty good day, relaxing. Like I said, hung out with those guys for a little bit, talked. And the second they gave me those fish and dropped me off, I put them right in the fry. They were already cooked, and he cooked them in bacon. Oh my God, it was the greatest thing I've ever had. Greatest thing I ever had. Yeah, and they said they've been having the same problems on the lakes. They're not catching anything on the lakes. When they first came in at Tim, they hit a whole bunch of brookies along the way. They took the loop that I was going to take. But then instead of going back down south, they were heading back to Tim. So they took that same route. They said if I blew my knee out on that first portage, I'm lucky I stopped and rerouted myself, because I would have killed myself. I never would have made it. So that's good to know. That's good to know. So other than the panic the first few days, this has been a pretty good trip. I think I was a little overzealous in planning what I planned. I'm used to planning for 2 people. Not forgetting that this is the highlands, and the portages aren't like the ones that Sabrina and I do when we run rivers. They're completely different. There's a lot of elevation to them. They're not, some of them, like the ones I've taken anyways, weren't maintained. So I learned a lesson. I learned a lesson here, and a very good one. But I've enjoyed myself the first 3 days. There was some panic, you know, maybe a little bit scared, but all in all, things are going good. So when I get out of here tomorrow morning early, about halfway through the day, I should be back on the Tim River to get over to Shaw Lake. I'll be doing some filming then, because I should be getting into some brookies. Anyways, hash browns are almost done. I'm going to have my lunch. Maybe try a little bit more fishing off the shore. I don't think I'll catch anything here. The only thing that I've seen that seagulls have been catching stuff off right off the point here. So are the loons. It's crazy. Everybody's catching but me. Anyways, I'm going to get my lunch ready. This is ready. We'll talk to you guys later on. Get outside. What's happening at 6 o'clock? I got camp all packed up. I'm probably going to be up at 4 again. That seems to be the routine every morning in between 4 and 4:15. Hopefully be on the water by 5:30 as the sun's coming up. Right off the bat, as soon as I cross this lake, I got a 700 and then a 300. Then I'm on the water for a while, and then a 230, and then an 1150 to get into Shaw Lake. But it's about a 7-hour day, it says. But the second half of my day will be on the Tim River, and I'll be using the trout lures that he left me, the little flies and stuff. So hopefully we get into that. Anyways, just some mashed potatoes, brown veggies, and they left me gravy. Nothing exciting. So tonight, I'm gonna sleep in everything that I've got, plus my rain gear, on top of my sleeping bag to see if that helps. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow. I don't know if it's gonna come or not. The guys earlier today weren't sure either. So we'll see what happens. But either way, I gotta push off. And then after I hit Shaw, I'm heading down to White Trout Lake. And then from White Trout Lake, I'm gonna go to Happy Isle. And then from Happy Isle, I'm gonna head down to Opeongo office. So if everything goes good, that's another 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 days, weather permitting. So pretty excited for it. I wish I was able to accomplish what I'd set out to, but I gotta realize, Sabrina says sometimes I set goals that are way too high, and just expect myself to do it. And yeah, I came to a lot of realization, but it's good. You know, I'm feeling really good today, felt good yesterday, and it's a shame that I'm running out of food because now that I'm starting to feel good, I'd really love to do that whole trip. But time-wise, and some of those portages, I don't want to risk it. My knee's still a little bit swollen, but it's feeling better. My shoulder's still sore. Might have to drag the canoe a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna get dinner going.
Oh, come on, lighter, it's cold. Oh, good morning, everybody. Day 10, Tuesday, May 23rd, I think. So it's about 4:45. I actually slept in until 4:30. Wow. Oh. It's cold last night. Not as cold. It's getting warmer at night, thank God. Be nice not to sleep in this rain suit. I will never forget a sleeping pad again in my life. Anyways, I gotta get this fire going to get the chill out of me. I'm gonna have a coffee, a little bit of oatmeal. And then I'm gonna get on the water as soon as possible. Like I said, I want to make the camp at a decent time today, but I also want to be able to have the time to fish on the Tim River and catch my first trout. I'm looking forward to today. I'm so looking forward to today. Anyways, I got my coffee going. I'm going to save the rest of the recording for the Tim Rivers. Like I said, I got straight across the lake, and then I got a 700, and then a small little paddle, then a 300, and then a very long paddle out to Long Lake, I think it's called, and then a 200-meter portage down to the Tim River. And that's probably where I'll meet up with you guys then. Anyways, good morning.
Check this out. There's 2 of them. I think it's a mom and a calf. I don't have my stand. Hold on. Good morning. And there's a little one. God, I love this place. Hi, Mama. There's a little one. Sorry the footage isn't that great. Yeah. Yes. I gotta get going. just finished Longbow. It's a wind tunnel. It's a nice paddle though. I don't know if the GoPro picked it up. The battery might have died. Saw a third moose. I thought it was another canoe coming at me at first. And then it turned, went up into the bush, and yelled at me as it was getting out of the water. That's 3 moose today. So why is it goose and geese and not moose and meese? I don't know. Anyways, I got 230 meters and I'm fishing for trout. Today is such a great day. I'm feeling so much better. My knee's still a little swollen. It's not bad though. It's not hurting. My shoulder's my shoulder. I have to live with that probably for the rest of my life. But whatever. As Marty would say, let's go. We are here. That was the nicest portage I've ever been on. So this just happened. Over that log, got the boat over, then the current took it. I reached for it. Well, I did say I was going to go swimming. Well, I think the GoPro died. So those really shallows that I ran, I just had the line back up. I thought the portage was on the left. I read the map wrong. The portage is right here. Right before these things. That was a bitch. Water's cold. Anyways, I got 410 to go. That cost me some time. So did fishing this morning. I don't know if the GoPro picked any of that up, but I missed that 410 portage. Went over a small set of little rapids, almost went over the waterfall. I had to wind it back up, twisted my knee, trying to get it back up. I'm about 3/4 of the way to Shaw, where I'm supposed to camp tonight. Campsite here on the Tim River. Nobody here. We're gonna bank it up. I met a guy named Scott who was going the other way. Tomorrow's supposed to be a pretty bad storm. So who knows, maybe I'm here for a day or two. We'll see. But I gotta eat something. I should have eaten something earlier today. All I had was a little oatmeal this morning. Still haven't caught any fish, man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Anyways, let me get this set up. I'll talk to you guys later on. It just hurt me today. What a day. What a day. Got the hammock set up. Got my clothes drying. Like, I'm so exhausted. I've got stuff everywhere. I think I'm just gonna make something to eat and go to bed. Anyways, I can barely talk. I'm so exhausted. That took a lot out of me today, lining up those rapids that I never should have been on in the first place because I missed the portage. Well, I got to go for a swim today too. Still haven't caught any trout. Anyways, 5:30. I'm wiped. What a day. What a day. It was a good day. Good day. I think I'm sunburnt too. I think that's why I'm a little bit wiped out. You want to know how hungry I am? I just ate 3 tablespoons of butter before I put it in with the sidekicks. It was so good. So yeah, I'm about just a slightly over 3/4 of the way to where I was supposed to be. A little disappointed in myself. If I hadn't screwed around for the 2 hours, well, no, I'm not disappointed. If I hadn't screwed around, I wouldn't have seen the moose. I wouldn't have had the day that I had if I had left when I wanted to. And I had a great day. I had a great day. Wiped out, went for a swim. Almost went over a set of waterfalls. All in all, it was a good day. I am so starving. So starving. I've got the tarp up. It's just a quick job, nothing fancy. The downfall to having the tarp up now is that the winds, all the black flies and stuff are here. And apparently the ones that are down the Tim River don't give a shit about deep. Had a really good day. I wish I'd made it, but I'm so tired. I mean, I could have pushed. I probably would have got there around 8 o'clock tonight. But with everything being soaked and wet and stuff, forget it. I want everything dry. Because I sleep in most of my clothes because I forgot my underpad and I'm in a hammock, right? But this campsite is huge. So if anybody ever does show up tonight or tomorrow, there's tons of room. This place had a really nice site. If that storm's kicking in, I might stay here tomorrow, readjust the hammock so I don't get rained on, because I think right now I'm going to get rained on. But anyways, I don't think you guys really want to watch me smoke a pipe and stir sidekicks. So I'll talk to you guys later on. Maybe later tonight. If I get a little bit of energy after eating, maybe I'll do some fishing off the shore here. If not, maybe I'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock. It is raining. Not so bad right now. Woke up at 3:45. and it was coming down pretty hard. So I think I slept good last night, like really good. Definitely sunburned. I might have had a little bit of sunstroke. I'm definitely dehydrated because I woke up several times to my legs and my hands cramping. My hands are really swollen right now and raw. And my legs are still cramping a little bit. So it's obviously dehydration from yesterday with the sunburn and the amount of work that I did. So I didn't really want to, but I think I'm going to take a rest day today. I wanted to go, but I think my body needs a little bit of a break. Yesterday was, not only was it a lot of work, but I think the adrenaline and the excitement and a little bit of fear of almost going over the waterfall and having to try to line back up those rapids with the waters as rough as they were. You know, and the Tim River's a long paddle, man. That's a long, long paddle. That was a lot of work. And my body's tired and sore. So I think I'm just gonna have a coffee right now. Maybe finish off the oatmeal in a little bit.
What's going on, everybody? About 5:45. Now I'm a day behind schedule. Well, I'll be a day and a half behind schedule. A couple came through earlier today, said that Shaw's not that busy, so I might stay at Shaw because I was supposed to last night. But I'm supposed to get to tomorrow night. I'm supposed to stay at Happy Isle. I don't know if I'll make that full distance with what I have left here to Shaw, and I'm not sure what campsites are in between the two. I will check. But after Happy Isle, go through Trout Lake, White Trout Lake, and then one more. And I think I've got another campsite. I forget what it is. And that's just north of Opeongo. But there's, I believe there's a 1,500 meter portage to Opeongo. It's either 1,500 or 3,000 into Opeongo from where I'm going to be. And if I can do that early enough in the morning, I might be able to paddle all of Opeongo in one day, depending on the wind. And if not, I'll see if somebody's there in a boat and tow me. I am enjoying myself. I'm wishing I hadn't run out of food. I'm wishing I hadn't hurt myself. But all in all, the experience has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I would do this again in a heartbeat. But now that I know what to expect more out of Algonquin and out of myself, I definitely plan them more accordingly. Spoken to several people I've run into who have said a lot of these unmaintained portages in this north section here are absolutely awful, and they have been. So now I know better. Maybe next time I'll just stick to the roots in Kevin Callan's book. Anyways, if I don't talk to you guys later tonight, I'll see you in the morning when I'm on the road. Water, whatever, get outside. Good morning. It is now my leg's frozen. 3:30. I got up at 3 o'clock. Couldn't sleep anymore. Got some firewood. Just a little bit. Enough to make some coffee and some oatmeal. So today's plan is to get to Shaw
Now, it's not that far, but the reasoning for making it a short day is because I am down to two sidekick meals and some pancakes and a little bit of hash browns. So I figure this morning I'm going to spend the time fishing the Tim instead of just shooting past it. Catch a couple of fish. I don't know what Shaw is going to be like. Apparently Shaw is not bad for fishing. But anyways, that's the game plan. It is friggin' cold. You know, when I checked the weather report before I left, there's only supposed to be like 4 days of rain the whole time I was gone. And then I realized last weekend was May 2-4 weekend. And it's shitty weather every May 2-4 weekend. And it has been since I was a kid. Even when we partied in Wasaga and Go Home, everywhere we used to go, Sauble, all those places. It was always just shitty weekend. Anyways, good morning.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost.
Oh. Just got to the portage, the Shaw. It's 11:50, I think. 11:50 or 11:30. So I'm letting the boat float down the river. I just finished reeling in my line. I look down at the map. The boat goes into the shore. I hear a grunt and I look up. I'm about 6 to 8 feet away from a mom and a fucking calf that couldn't have been more than 3 feet tall. And all I'm praying is that the little calf doesn't get spooked and mom comes after me. I didn't move. I waited till the current pulled the canoe off the shore. I just sat there and the three of us just stared at each other. I shit my pants. Beautiful. I was so scared if I made any noise and that little one spooked, that mom was coming from where the camera is to me, like right there. I could have hit her with my paddle. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'm gonna get this boat unloaded, start making trips. Who knows, maybe I'll push through Shaw Lake today. We'll see how it goes. I'm 760 meters in. The backpack's already together at Shaw. Taking the food barrel over now. It's 1,300 meters. I don't know if you can see the canoe. Way down there. So, map says 11:25. It's actually 12:98. And it's been like this the whole way. Mountain bog. So I've got it to 3 trips. But it means I'm still making 5. I don't know if my knee and shoulder will hold up getting the canoe up that. I might just have to drag that. Yeah. Okay. I'm almost at Shaw Lake. So, we're going to finish this up. That's 800 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shaw Lake. This is just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So the boat's almost loaded. There's 3 campsites right over here and the portage over there. I've got to stop and eat something. I really don't want the same thing to happen that happened the other day where I get burnt right out. I'd like to try to push on. I'm going to see, like I said, that portage really kicked my ass with the canoe. And it was 1,300, not 11:25. I tracked it with the iHunter. Anyways, I'm gonna finish loading this thing up, head over to a campsite, see you guys there. This lake is super, super shallow. All right, let's go see what this campsite looks like. Let's see what this place looks like. See if I got somewhere to put a hammock. Or maybe after I eat, we'll see. Maybe I'll just push through. Nice, clean. Thanks, guys. I hate that crap. Well, this could be a good place for a hammock. Might be buggy if I stay. I don't know if I'm gonna stay. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta eat something. It is, what time is it? 10 to 12. Okay, folks. Let's see what I got left. I think I got some pancakes and 2 meals of sidekicks. We'll see. Found a different fire pit, just a little out of the way. I really don't know what to do here, folks. It's 12 o'clock. And from here to the campsite that I've got booked, which is on White Trout Lake, is 8 hours. Now that's just doing 2 carries, and I'm doing 3. And there's 10 kilometers, so I got to add to that. If I had food, it wouldn't be an issue. I'd just stay. I saw there's perch. I don't know what else is in here, but this is all I got left. I got 2 things of side kicks 3/4 thing of butter, 2 servings of hash browns, and some pancake mix. But without eating protein, my body's just burning through everything I'm putting through it, and I'm just eating and eating and eating. And I really would have liked to made Opeongo by Sunday, the office, but I think it might be Monday, Tuesday, and those food rations aren't going to get me there. I just talked to actually 2 guys just came through. They're doing the portage I just came off of. They came this way. There's Misty Lake here, which is right below us, which is another 11:40 portage to get there, or 10:40, a 3:35, and then a 7:05. And he says there's a couple of campsites along the Petawawa that when they pass them, which is going to take me to White Trout Lake, when he passed those 3 campsites, there's nobody on them. And it's also 12 o'clock and it's almost the weekend. So I don't know what's going to happen. And the last thing I want to do is roll up on somebody else's site again. I mean, everybody's been friendly, and I had a couple of guys stop because they dumped their canoe, and we talked for a while, and they dried some stuff off, so everybody's friendly and everybody will make it work, but I just don't want to do that. I should have been a little bit more prepared for this. Anyways, for now, I'm going to make something to eat, and then I'll make up my mind from there. I'll tell you, these portages, they're a lot different than what I've experienced with Sabrina, and a lot different than some of the ones that I did by myself before. This is now I know why they call it the Highlands. Like, it's definitely, when I saw portages that were like 2,800 and 2,000 meters, figured, Sabrina and I killed off a couple of 4,000, 5,000 ones. Some of them were miserable because they were just long and buggy. There's a little bit of elevation here and there, but nothing like this. I was not expecting. I mean, I should have expected it. I grew up around Wilberforce. I should have expected it. Anyways, I got to figure out what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to leave behind, and then whether or not I'm going to get out of here and push through to another campsite. We'll see how I feel after I eat. I've hit a wall. Finished those pancakes I cleaned up. Loaded the boat back up. Got over the 300s just there. Got to the first 300. Got the backpack, paddles, the camera case. Got about a quarter of the way through it, and I had nothing left in the tank. I just couldn't go. 3-4 days to go. No food left. I gotta catch some fish. I've got no energy now. I don't want this video to be all Debbie Downer shit. I mean, I'm having a great time. Just now I'm in some deep shit. I know nobody comes up this route. Very rarely. I'm talking to a couple of people. Very rarely does anybody come up this way. If I can make it out to Misty, I should be okay. But I gotta get to Misty first. And in order to get to Misty, I gotta go through Little White Trout Lake, or White Trout Lake, which is another 8 hours from here, 7-8 hours from here. About another 12-14 kilometers of portage. Anyways, I got shit everywhere. I'm gonna try to tidy it up. My mind's spinning. Like, I've got shit lying everywhere. I finally got the hammock set up. Maybe I'll take a nap, see how I feel after that. It's even too windy to go out and try to fish. I just don't have the energy to fight the wind. It's amazing when you don't eat properly how little you have in the tank. Anyways, I gotta clean this up before I lose any more energy. See if a coffee will perk me back up. I don't even know what's going on right now. There we go. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm gonna eat up. I'm gonna clean up. I don't even know if that's any better. I can't see anything. I'm gonna go to bed tomorrow morning. I'm gonna have a little bit to eat, and I'm gonna push until I can't push anymore. I'm gonna do the same thing. Have a little bit to eat, crash, get up, and do it all over again. By then, I should be in Opeongo. And if I'm lucky, I'll run across somebody with a boat, a small little 9.9, and get them to tow me. This trip would have been absolutely fantastic if I had planned it properly and I had waited a little bit. And when I say plan, I'm talking about the food, cut down on a little bit more weight. Maybe would have rented a pack craft, one of those Swifts, those 13-foot ones. This could have been really epic. Anyways, I'm going to scarf this down. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. If you're this far into the video, thanks for hanging out. Anyways, get outside, guys. Oh, good morning. It was so cold. Look at how beautiful this is, though. Look at this. It's 5:38 in the morning. Feel pretty good this morning. Gonna get a little something into me, and then I'm just gonna push, and I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna go. I have some coffee, a couple of pancakes. Anyways, I got my morning on the go. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Good morning. Day 13, Friday. Oh yeah. It was so cold last night. I don't know if you can hear that. Listen. It's a pack of wolves just over there howling. Wow. Anyways, I gotta finish getting ready. Portage number 1 off of Shaw Lake, 335 meters. And it looks nice so far. But I'm only at the beginning. All right, that is Pandian Pond, Misty. This is my 705 meter. And this is not very inviting. That's about a 70% incline. 70 degrees, sorry. Maybe even a little more. Anyways. Yeah, baby. On our way to Misty. So this is the last load. The map and the sign says 7:05. I don't even know what this is going to look like. the 705. I tracked it with the eye hunter. It's actually around 915 meters. So with the canoe, I was traveling at 1.8 kilometers an hour. Took me 31 minutes. So I've got another, to get to my campsite on single carries, got another 1,800 meters in portaging, according to the map, if it's accurate. So times that by 5, because I have to do 3 trips. I didn't even think right now. 6 or 7, another 7 or 8 kilometers. I hope I catch a fish on this river. I don't know what that footage looked like, but anyways, so hopefully I can catch a fish on this misty here. If I can, I'm pulling over right away. I'm eating it right away. You know, what's ridiculous about this is Sabrina bought me a big jug of this protein powder. It was super, super expensive. She's really picky about the protein powders and stuff like that. They got to be like proper, I don't know. She does all that stuff. And if I had packed some of that to bring with me, this wouldn't have been so bad. But burning all these calories and not taking any calories in or protein in, you know. But I'm loving this. You should. This place is so friggin' beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyways, wow, look at that. Look at that, folks. That is one big piece of chaga and a little one right above it. That is beautiful. God, this place is never ceases to amaze. I can get there today. I can get the white trout. I'm gonna catch a fish. Or 2 or 3. The limit's 5, right? I gotta go. All right. So this is the end of the portage. See that? 705 my ass. So this is what you're portaging around anyways. This actually goes all the way out to Pandian Pond. But look at this place. This is just absolutely beautiful. And I got a long way to go around that corner. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna load up and get going. Just turn the camera back on. I don't know how far into the portage I am. Pretty close to the end. See here? It's wiped out. Anyways. This is great. Anyway. Got 5 more portages. The longest one's 200. This little 8, it says 850, it's 890, turned into 4.5 kilometers. It's about 1:30 right now. This is my last load. Get there about 2 o'clock. I roll into camp late. I'm gonna make it. Pretty impressed with myself. I didn't think, without the protein and the food and stuff, I'm pretty worn down. Like I can feel my legs burning, like really burning. But I'm really enjoying this. This place is beautiful. A lot different than river tripping, let me tell you. A lot of fun though. I wish I hadn't injured myself at the beginning and blown through all that food, because I'm really starting to enjoy this. But I've put myself in a bit of a situation. But it looks like I'm going to make Opeongo by Sunday. So I hope I catch some fish, because I got my last meal tonight. And then a little bit of pancakes. I think I might get 2 pancakes out of it tomorrow. And then I'm done. And I'm looking maybe Sunday for Opeongo, if I can keep at this pace. The one bonus is I've been able to split the weight up between what's left of the food barrel, which is nothing really, and what I had in the backpack for gear. Okay, see you guys on the other side. So this is the end of I'm here at the Petawawa. I'm gonna try fishing in here a little bit. It's 1:38. I think I made okay time, having to do 3 trips. I wiped out carrying the canoe. A lot of mud on that trail. Busted my thing. Sucks. I'll try to fix it when I get to camp. I don't even know if the GoPro survived. I don't think I got a concussion. Dropped the canoe on the side of my head, slipped. But whatever. Absolutely love this place. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get loaded up. See if I can catch a fish. I might not record anything else until I get to site. I gotta push pretty hard. Got 5 portages left. And a big paddle down the river. I'm on the Petawawa River. Anyways, we'll see you guys later on. I'm just coming up to the end of the 195. My last load. Starting to get the shakes, like my legs. Feeling pretty weak. I've got a 90 and a 200 to go to get to white trout. I just might have to drag the canoe in the 200. I got a sidekick. Well, a portion of a sidekick anyways, because I ate some of it. A serving of dehydrated hash browns and enough pancake mix to make 2 little pancakes or 1 big one. And all I'm thinking is I want to eat it all tonight. But I still got to get to Happy Isle, which is a day, and then I got to get to Opeongo. So I got another 2 days. But I've made it to white trout almost. A couple more portages. Anyways, I don't have a lot of time. I think it's like 3:30. I want to see if I can get there to have decent time to rest. But I do need to show you guys this. This is the Petawawa River. This place is beautiful, man. Oh, I did something to my camera too. Look at this. Sorry about the footage and stuff. I'm just exhausted right now and I don't care. But anyways, this is beautiful. And I still haven't caught, I've tried everywhere. I even tried fishing here a little bit. I haven't caught a damn thing. God damn it. Forgot about this one. 160 meters around the rapids. I'm getting tired. What time is it? 10 to 4. I got this, an 80, a 200, and I think my campsite's right at the end of that. But I'd like to get up the lake. I don't know, I'm not gonna have the energy. Anyways, I'll see you guys when I get to my thing. I hope this is an okay shot, guys. I don't know. I just carried. I'm so proud of myself. Just carried the canoe up this incline. This is the 165. I still have that 80 and that 200 to go. And I hope that 200 is not like this. Legs are still shaking. I cannot wait to eat. Still got a lot of paddling to do though too. So there's a campsite shortly after the 200, I think, which is still on the Petawawa. And then not too far away is the one on white trout. I'd like to make it all the way up the lake so that my day tomorrow is shorter. I think it's like 4:15 right now. You know, coming down the Petawawa over there, it's pretty shallow. I could see all kinds of the freshwater clams. And I was thinking, I know you can eat them. I don't know what the protocol is. Man, there were so many. That would have been so nice. But yeah, I don't know what the protocol is. There we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got 2 more to go and a little bit to travel, so you probably won't hear from me until dinner time. Hoo-ah! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I didn't want to stop paddling. I still got a long way to go in those 2 portages. Look at that. It's just beautiful in here. I hope that's not signs of my portage to come. Anyways. So, I don't know how well. No, you can't see. How about that? No, we'll do it later. I gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Pardon my French, but I fucking did it. And I didn't drag the canoe once. So this is Grassy Lake this way. And that is the opening of white trout. So there's a campsite straight ahead, and it is 10 to 7. I worked my ass off today. Pretty proud of myself. My shoulder stuff. Anyways, I gotta get to that camp to let some stuff dry out. Did I eat something? Oh, I gotta eat something. And then I'm gonna go to bed early. Make a day out of it again tomorrow. This is beautiful in here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad I did this. regardless of the circumstances, I'm very much enjoying myself. Anyways, we gotta get to camp. I need a break. I'll show you around camp. No shortage of firewood. Look at this fire pit. This is pretty elaborate. Anyways, I don't know if there's a really good spot for a hammock yet. I haven't looked. This is actually a really nice site. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do first. Eat. Find a place for the hammock. Sorry, I was out screaming. I am close. It's 7 o'clock. That was a long day without eating. But I had a pancake and coffee. Yeah, I gotta eat. I don't know. Maybe I'll film some more later on after I get set up or whatever. But I need a break and I need to eat. There's not one good place that I can find so far to put up a hammock. Too much dead standing. Maybe further back, but I'm too tired. Let me show you what I did real quick. It's nothing fancy. So, just took the big 12 by 15 tarp, and that's it. I'm gonna put my stuff under there. I'm gonna lie under there. The wind's coming from that direction, so it'll block the wind. It's good enough. Good enough. At this point, I'm so tired. Anyways, that'll be it for me for tonight. I'll let you guys know in the morning how it goes. What a day. I can't believe I made it here. What a day.
Good morning. It was actually fairly warm. I think we're gonna get rain today. I'd say I'd slept in, but 20 after 5. I couldn't fall asleep last night. My body kept stiffening up, cramps, I was dehydrated. My hands, I don't know if you can see them. My hands are all chapped and raw. Well, cut up, but there, both of them. I don't know how well you can see that, but I can barely make a fist. Anyways, I gotta get coffee made. And I guess if it's gonna rain, I better push. So today, it's 17 kilometers on the water. Just 6 portaging. So add a few more to that. Probably 10. Let's get at it. We'll go make coffee and a pancake. Okay, I'm pretty much packed up. It is 6:45. I got another pretty long day. I don't think I'm going to record anything until I get to the end. I'm going to charge both batteries. The sun's out. I'm going to put the solar panel up on top of the canoe. Get both of these batteries charged. The GoPro I'm not even going to worry about. So anyways, we'll see you guys later on. And yeah, happy Saturday. Day 14, Saturday. I am on, where am I now? I'm in the bottom half of White Trout Lake. I have a long way to go. But I got the solar panel out. One of the batteries charging. So
I got my rod in. Doubt I'm gonna catch anything. I just had no luck. This paddle's too short. I brought the wrong one, so that makes for extra work. But what a beautiful day. Look at this place. Just massive and absolutely beautiful. I don't know why they call it big trout. I tried every lure on my tackle box and I haven't caught a damn thing. Anyways. So yeah, I just needed a break. That's 3 hours so far in the water. About halfway, I got maybe another 2. And then I got a 1875 portage into Happy Isle Lake. And then I got to get to the bottom of it, I believe. So that when I wake up in the morning, I just got a portage straight into Opeongo. Anyways. I gotta get moving. It's beautiful. But actually, I can't believe this lake is huge. I passed like 8 campsites. I haven't seen one person. I don't know why nobody's here. This place is just maybe because it's bitch to get into, but it is absolutely beautiful. Anyways, I gotta moving. Wow. So that last part of the lake turned into a bog and then into a stream that you had to go upstream. That bog, I had to pull some of it. That was longer than I should have. The water level was so low when I got up to this end. So the portage sign says 1890. So that's roughly, let's just say it's 2 kilometers. The iHunter, when I've been tracking myself on these portages, says I'm walking at about 1.9 kilometers an hour. So I got to do 3 loads, which makes 5 trips. If I stay that pace, that's 5 hours. It's 10 to 12. Chances are I won't keep that pace for the whole thing. So maybe 6 hours, 6.5 hours of walking the rest of the day. I'm starving. I know I should put something in my stomach. I got 1 serving of hash browns left. And I'm thinking maybe I blew half now. So tomorrow, if I can get to Happy Isle, like all the way down to Happy Isle Lake, I've got to go through Merchant Lake first. This is where this portage is going to take me. It's going to take me to Merchant Lake, and I paddle all the way down. Then I got a 340 into Happy Isle. If I can get somewhere onto Happy Isle, I've got a 2,200 meter portage to get into the north arm of Opeongo Lake. Anyways, I'm going to get the boat unloaded. Try to decide if I'm going to eat something right now or not. Oh snap. This is it. I see water. Oh. Yeah, baby. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Oh. Oh, this lake is huge. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. This is beautiful. I don't know how good this footage is going to be. The mount for my GoPro is broken. The other one's down at the other end. Oh my god. So hopefully this gives me a little burst of energy. I don't want to have to keep eating instant hot chocolate. It's amazing how you feel when you're not eating properly. You know, even if I just brought that protein powder, that would have made a world of difference. You know? So I figure what I'm going to do now is I'm going to eat. I'm going to have that instant coffee with instant hot chocolate. And then I think what I'll do is bring the food barrel. Not that there's any food other than half a serving of hash browns and a bunch of coffee and instant hot chocolate. But I'm already a little shaky. So worst case, I've already got my gear there. I'll have the food barrel. Worst case is I sleep right there at the end of the portage and come back and get the canoe in the morning. I'd really like to do this today. I'm tired, sore. But it's okay. Get her done. There's a campsite just off the portage on McLaren Lake. It's a long. I looked down that lake to where the portage is supposed to. That's a long paddle. I won't make that today. I know that for a fact. What a beautiful day, though. I have been enjoying myself. It's a good workout. Good workout. I just hope my shoulder holds up for this 2100. With the hash browns, put a little bit of salt and pepper, half a bouillon cube, and a bunch of extra virgin olive oil. Let it boil. Made it like a soup, a hash brown soup, I guess. This, 2 big scoops of instant coffee, 4 big scoops of instant hot chocolate. Tastes like a really bad mocha something. Two o'clock. I'll probably get going around 2:15. Should put me back here for a little after 3:30. Put me back there by 4:15, depending on how long. I'm going to take the food barrel first and then come back and get the canoe. The hardest part is just going to be getting going again. And I think what I do when I come back from the canoe, I'm going to keep the spoon and the instant hot chocolate in my pocket. And then just keep crushing it if I need it. Quick little sugar boost just to get this done. So it's probably Opeongo by Monday morning. And then that's going to be an extremely, I'm in the north arm, like I'm way up in the north end. It's going to be a very, very, very long paddle. And I got just over a 2,000 meter portage to get into Opeongo. So who knows, maybe Tuesday, depending on how everything goes. Oh yeah, trip number 2. That DEET stings in the eye. I think that took about 45 minutes. It's 10 after 3. I'm glad I ate that stuff. I will say this, the canoe's going to take a lot longer than 45 minutes. You're going to have to carry and drag it back and forth. Maybe half and half. 3:10 exactly. I'm going to take a little bit of a rest. Go back and get the canoe. I figured get there at 3:45 by the time I get back there. Maybe 5 o'clock by the time I get here with the canoe. I think there's a campsite. Let's go over there. If not, it's a great little place right here to set up. We'll see how I'm doing. I freaking did it. It's 5:15. A few campsites along this side. I'm going to load up the canoe. I'm going to put my rod in the water. I don't want to eat what's left over, those hash browns. I want them for the morning. I'm hoping I catch a fish. I'm just going to paddle till I can't. I got a couple hours before the sun goes down anyways. If I have to, I'll cowboy camp again tonight. I don't care. Wow. I did it. Ladies and gentlemen, holy shit. Holy shit. Days. Days. Hold on, baby, hold on. Oh, where are my pliers? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm eating dinner tonight. Oh my God, yes! Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. All right. Number 2 MEPS, baby. Okay. All right. Okay. I gotta get shit done. Yes! Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes! I've been waiting. My first trout. Couldn't have come at a better time. Oh my God. This site's phenomenal. It's back in a bit off the lake. You come in over there. Anyways, it's 6:30. I'm about 20-minute paddle to the portage, the Happy Isle. So I'm a little bit short of what I wanted to do today. But I don't care because I'm having trout for dinner and I'm having hash browns for breakfast. So I think what I'm going to do is a couple of fillets. I'm going to make fish head and fish tail soup with everything else. Anyways, let me get the boat unloaded, find a place to set up my hammock. I'm so glad I pushed on. So glad I pushed on. I am exhausted, but it was well worth it. Yeah, I got my first trout ever at a time when I needed it the most. I'm so friggin' happy right now. I could cry. Oh. Everything smells like trout. So, probably not the best fillet job. Look at these fillets. Look at that. Right over here. Look at that. Yeah. So I'm going to fry those up. Everything else is going into a stew. So now here's the thing. All the salt and pepper, there's very little left. I forgot to put this in a bag. All of it spilled on the inside of the food barrel. But you know what I do have? Sabrina and I used to make, well, not used to, we love making dry rubs. So this is a cumin. What is this one? Cumin, curry, coffee, cinnamon, dry rub. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this on the fish. Maybe put a little bit in the soup with a bouillon cube. But yeah, so I'm going to get the soup going. I got to get my hammock set up. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great day. I know it doesn't sound like much. I know a lot of you guys do this a lot, but I left for this trip not in the best of health. And on the second day, I really did a number on my knee and my shoulder. Both of them are reoccurring injuries. And I'm feeling so much better now by pushing through. And if I had had more food, I wouldn't end the trip. But I've got to do what's smart. I've got to pull out. But this has just been heaven. This place is just, I'm so thankful to be here. And if you guys are still watching this video, thanks for hanging out. You might as well subscribe if you've gotten this far. Anyways, I've still got some camp chores to do. I'll probably see you guys in the morning. That's it for me to wrap. I gotta relax. I gotta eat. I gotta relax. I'm gonna eat so good tonight. That thing was beautiful. Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie. When I was cleaning it, I cried. This not only is that my first trout ever, but it came at a time, at a desperate hour when I needed it the most. I get to have hash browns for breakfast. Yes. Okay. 7:30. I got the hammock set up. I'm not even set up the tarp. But let me show you around. I still haven't found the privy. There are my fillets. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So excited. Actually, where's that little fork? It's actually a pretty nice little fire pit. So here's my fish head soup and everything else that's left. Oh yeah, I can't wait. So it's actually a pretty nice site. There's a hammock. You see down there, that's where I came in with the canoe. Yeah, I'd take you out and show you the lake and stuff, but I'm tired. I want to clean everything up now. So that's it. Saturday, day 14. I'm not lying, I cried. When I was filleting that fish, I cried. It couldn't have come at a better time. You know, I've been making sure that I say thanks before I eat every night. Like Sabrina and I always do when we're on our trips, we throw tobacco and give thanks, ask for permission to give thanks. And I think it's paid off. I tell you, this trip has been phenomenal. I would really love to do this again. With another person though. 2 people instead of 1. Unless I wind up getting a Swift pack that are 35 pounds. Anyways,
tidy up a little bit more. I'm gonna eat my dinner. Guys, we'll see you in the morning. I'm so thankful. Good morning. About 5 o'clock. Didn't sleep much again last night. I don't feel tired. Maybe sleep for like half an hour, 45 minutes. I'd be up again, up and down all night. I at about 4:15, I finally woke up and just laid there. Between my hands and the tool dueling owls, back and forth all night. I'll tell you who. And a beaver. There was a really pissed off beaver last night. Swaying back and forth all night. Well, not all night, for a good couple hours. Smashing his tail. All pissed off. I guess I'm in this area, but here, let me show you my hands. See if you guys can see them. So, not very well, eh? Maybe later today. So, my hands have not only been sunburnt and have dried out and cracked, but all the cuts and everything that I have are pussing and oozing and keep opening up. I can barely open and close my hands. They're killing me. So, my goal for this morning is to make some coffee and grab my first aid kit. I got some good cream in there. And I'm going to soak them in the cream. And then I'm going to tape everything up. And I'm going to do my best to get to the bottom of Opeongo today. I'm going to push I put it back in the other bag. Anyways, time for coffee. So I didn't eat the whole fish last night. I saved the fillet for today. There's that owl again. So I figure what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a coffee, a couple of spoonfuls of instant hot chocolate, and then I'm going to save the hash browns for when I'm into that 2,000 meter portage, and the fillet for later on. It'd be nice if I caught another fish on the way down, but we'll see what happens. But nothing of that fish got wasted. Nothing at all. I ate the eyes, I sucked them right out of the head, the brains, absolutely everything of that fish got used. Everything but the bones. Whew, I'll tell you who, you've been asking me all night. Me, I'm tired. Okay, folks, it is now 6:25. So I've got a little 390 portage right here to get into Happy Isle Lake. And then a 2,200 meter portage into the north arm of Lake Opeongo. So I got some hustling to do. I'm gonna load this up. We'll see you guys in a bit. What a beautiful Sunday morning. All right, here we are, 3:45.
You know what I love about every portage so far that I've been to? They all start uphill. 345 my ass. I told you guys how much I love iHunter and that I use it for more than just hunting. Anyways, this is actually 462 meters. That makes a difference when you're carrying 50, 60 pounds on your back. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Happy Isle Lake. 7:40 Sunday morning. Hopefully I can catch another fish. We'll see. So that means that portage, it says it's 2180, which means it's probably closer to 2500. That's like an 11-12 hour day for me with these 3 loads and my knee and my shoulder. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Anyways, we're going to load it up. We'll see you guys in the water. I got the camera sitting a little funny. Whatever. I don't know what I got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that, just in time. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, look, and I cut my finger, I'm bleeding again. My second one. Yeah, I'm stopping for breakfast. Anyways, I'm almost at that portage. There's a couple of campsites here. I'm gonna pull over and have a little fish fry. I'll see you guys in a bit. So, the portage is just over there. I am pulling up to the last campsite on Happy Isle. I'm gonna cook up that fish I just caught, have some breakfast. I am pretty famished. I'm gonna do the math to see how long it's gonna take me to do that portage roughly. What time that'll get me there. There's a camp, there are 2 campsites right by the end of the portage. I just don't know if anybody's gonna be there. Nice fire pit. And this is the last campsite on Happy Isle before you get to Opeongo. And oh my God, there's a chair. Oh my God, there's a chair. Yeah. Oh, and the fire pit. Look at this. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a coffee and a fish fry. Wow. That's 2. My first 2 trout ever. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. Thought I was gonna starve and die in Algonquin. Anyway, so I'm gonna unload and get ready for a fish fry and a coffee. I'm so looking forward to this. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. So, I'm out of salt and pepper. So that is cumin, curry, cinnamon, coffee dry rub that I was trying to explain yesterday. Anyways, I got a coffee going. It's 9:45. So a couple just paddled by, talked, very nice couple. They said I'm probably looking, if I'm doing 3 loads like that, I'm probably looking at 10 hours. Because it's just over 24, they said. So they said the first 3 campsites right around the portage, there were people on them when they came through. They actually slept at the bottom of the portage here just as they got here. They were so exhausted. So I got to think about what I'm going to do, because Opeongo is still a full day paddle, so I won't even make it all the way down. Hopefully I run into somebody who's got a little power boat. Anyways, I'm going to put my fish on. I'm going to have my coffee. Oh, there it goes. You know, I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to eat everything. I think I'm going to eat, I'm going to clean up, and I'm going to push. I'm going to go for it. If I have to, I'll sleep on the portage trail. I don't care. But I got to get as far as I can. This is so good. That is twice what I needed the most. Thank you. Thank you. This place is beautiful. Couldn't, like, if you haven't been here, you have to come. Everything is worth it. The struggles. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to eat and I'm going to push through. I don't know how much batteries I've got left. I haven't really got time to charge any today. We'll see what it's like at the portage. If there's some sun, maybe I can do it while I'm portaging. It's so good. All right. So Still got my hash browns. I still got that other filet. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. So, I'm going to fill up my water bottles again. And I'm going to get going. Okay. Just got to the portage to Opeongo. 2200. Anyways, I'm going to set my water bottles up. Get some water because I'm running low. And then we'll give it a shot. We'll see you guys at the other side. Well, holy shit. So, the canoe is over at Opeongo on the north arm. It is 12:30, 2,600 meters, well just less, 2.55 kilometers. It took me 69 minutes with the canoe. The average speed was 2.23 kilometers an hour. So it took me, what's that? An hour and 10-15 minutes with the canoe. It took me 55, half an hour, 40. It took me about 45 minutes without. So, take the biggest load now. It's another hour. So 1:30, 2, 2:15, 3:15. I can be on the water by 3:30. I met a guy who was paddling around fishing by the dock there. He said it's about 6 hours to Opeongo to the office. That would make 9 o'clock. That's if the wind's in my favor. Right now it feels like it is. Going south. Maybe I can put my... No, that means I gotta pull my cart out. Might get there tonight. Call my brother. Get a late night for him. That's for sure. Anyways, I gotta keep going. What a hell of a trip. I can't believe I just did that with the canoe. I will admit I probably dragged it about 400 or 500 meters, 400 or 500 meters near the end. The shoulder's a little sore. And he's, oh yeah. Glad I got those 2 fish. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get the next load going. Oh, happy Sunday, day 15. Wow. I am impressed with myself over the last 5-6 days. Yeah, I am. Woo! Yatta! Well, I'm on Opeongo, ladies and gentlemen. You have no idea how heaven sent sometimes things are. This couple right here pulled up to the dock as I was coming in with my second load, and they were kind enough to tow me to the Opeongo office, where I call my brother, tell him I'm a week early. This would have been such a long time. I was so done right now. Sunday, I think it's around 3:30. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you when I get to the office. So many good things have happened. The fish after not eating for a few days. Oh my god. And then this, like, couldn't have asked for a better experience. Couldn't have asked. Anyways, we'll see you guys later on. Get outside. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 days in. That couple, absolutely beautiful couple. Give me like 4 sandwiches, cheese, sweet and salty granola bar, party mix. Oh my god. Took almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours for them to tow me here. The guys inside the store said I would have been looking at about an 8 to 9 hour paddle by myself. And that's if the wind wasn't in my face. He says at best, 2 people going really hard could do it in 6.5 hours. What an absolutely amazing trip. It's a shame that I got hurt at the beginning. It's a shame that I panicked. It's a shame that I went through that food so fast. A lot of soul searching. A lot of beautiful. A lot of thankfulness. A lot of everything. This place is stunning. I'm gonna come back and do it again. Just land it a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for checking this out. Give it a like, subscribe. Tell me how stupid I am. Well, learned a lot of things. Learned a lot of things about myself, about how hard I can push myself when I have to. 7 moose in total. Absolutely beautiful. The amount of grouse in here. Waking up every morning in between 10 to 4 and 4:30 every day. The forest coming alive. Just absolutely beautiful. I know the video hasn't been that great. I was exhausted, panicked for a little while. There was a while there I was scared. About 2.5 hours before my brother gets here. I'm gonna pull everything up off the water. Maybe take a nap in the shade. Till next time. Get outside.